Antigua and Barbuda, and the host nation, the British Virgin Islands, for these 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. 7 days of basketball, and we are down to 2 games left. The bronze game coming up in just a matter of moments, and then at 8:45, the gold medal game between the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands. In our other games, the 9th place game yesterday, it was the Cayman Islands over Guyana. Earlier today, it was the 7th place game, Barbados over Bermuda, after Bermuda made a big comeback in that one. And then in the 5th place game, which concluded just about 20 minutes ago, Suriname with the almost impossible comeback, trailing by 18 going into the 4th quarter and coming away with an 87-80 win over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is the bronze medal game again between Antigua and BVI. Welcome in my partner, Cal White. And Cal, both of these teams lost last night. They still have something to play for, though, for this bronze medal.
Yeah, both of these teams didn't have a good showing last night. I can guarantee you at the shoot-around for the BVI, Coach Malone was talking to his guards about how to get that entry pass into Cleon Penn, as he was frustrated yesterday. For Antigua and Bermuda, they looked real tired yesterday. I'm sure they got some rest. Don't think they did too much at shoot-around today. This should be an exciting game.
Both of these teams, I would imagine, want some redemption after their performance last night. Ball's in the air, and we are underway. BVI controls the tip. Starting for BVI, they're in their road green uniforms. Franklin Penn, Norval Carey, Kennedy Bass, J.R. Chiverton, and Cleon Penn. They get the lob into Penn. His shot is blocked, and he draws the foul. For Antigua, Lennox McCoy, Jerome Richardson, Kurt Luby, Ernest Scott, and Sharif Sargent. So another different lineup for Antigua tonight.
And right off the bat, as I said, you can see what Coach Malone talked about as he went a high-low as Carey. He caught the ball in the middle and gave it to Cleon Penn. BVI going with a little different lineup today, as well as Norval Carey and Franklin Penn gets their first start of the tournament.
Yep. They've earned it. Scott on the wing, back up top to McCoy. To Luby. Right side, Richardson. 5 to shoot. Good defense by BVI. Now McCoy steps around his defender. Pump fakes, and I think if he would have just shot it, he would have gotten off a clean shot.
And if you're guarding Lennox McCoy today, there's no way you can miss him, as he has on these bright yellow knee pads and shoes.
Now Penn along the baseline, working on Luby. Gets in, goes up with a hook off the glass, no. Tough work by Cleon Penn to get in that position, but then just couldn't finish. Now Sargent goes strong to the hole.
And that's okay for the BVI on that offensive end just now, as Cleon Penn wasn't able to make the shot. But already we can see their first 2 possessions, they got the ball to the big fella.
Sargent for the free throw. 76.9% from the stripe during this tournament, misses the first. Second free throw by Sargent, no good. Rebound, Luby tapped it, and then it's controlled by Franklin Penn. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so on Facebook. You can go to Caribbean Basketball Confederation, comment on one of our posts, or send us a message through there. Maybe we'll read it on the air. And also follow us on Twitter. We are at Caribe Basket, CARIBE BASKET, as Franklin Penn soars in for another block on a layup attempt. That one was just flat out missed. You can tweet at us, Maybe we'll read your tweet on the air if you've got a shout out for your favorite team or player. And it's 3-0 BVI. Boy, they're letting these guys play so far. I mean, there's been a couple of fouls called, one on each side, but I've seen probably 3 or 4 plays since the last foul that was called that could very easily have drawn a whistle. Now McCoy gets it into Richardson. Now a 3 on the way. Ernest Scott couldn't connect, and now a foul called on Cleon Penn. Cleon Penn, as you recall, last night drew a controversial foul. He was setting a pick right here in front of us at midcourt. The player ran straight into him, and he got called for the offensive foul. The player was down for several minutes on the court. I believe that was Lewis. He actually ended up rejoining the game later after going through the concussion protocols and everything. Turned out that he really had the wind knocked out of him just really bad. But Penn, the victim of a...
And Penn came up to me after the game and he asked me, was that a foul? And I told him, in my view, absolutely not. I thought it was very legal. And he told me he's used to getting calls like that because of his size.
Yeah. Quick hands by Franklin Penn, denies the feed down low. It'll remain Antigua ball.
I don't know if you saw the free throw by Luby, but I don't think I've ever seen a release quite like that. It's kind of like Bill Cartwright-ish.
Oh, up high and then just a flick of the wrist. Boy, and Penn blocks one off the glass. I thought that was a goaltend.
He definitely hit that after he touched the glass. BVI getting away with one.
And Antigua left just kind of looking around. Well, that ball tipped and then tipped again and out of bounds. Still 3-0 in favor of BVI. 6:48 to play first period. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the Caribbean or around the world. I'm Craig Fada. He's Cal, almost called you Cal Penn, the actor. Cal White. Not an actor. Former Virgin Islands men's national team standout. And that's a lack of awareness of the shot clock. Again, we've seen that several times this tournament. Your guards, your coaches, somebody's got to be aware of that shot clock and call it out. You got to call red with about 7 or 8 seconds left, or give him a countdown or something. There's no excuse for that. Timeout on the floor, BVI. We're back in a minute from the Multi-Purpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. .6:33 to play first quarter. Antigua has not scored yet. BVI hasn't really done much better. They've only put up 3 points. 1 field goal and 1 free throw. Coming out of the timeout, let's see what Antigua does. Richardson feeds Sargent. Kick out pass. Now Richardson thought about the 3. Now the 3 is on the way from McCoy. No, the putback is there by Sargent.
And this is not just for the bronze medal, but the top 3 teams move on to next year's Central Basket Tournament.
Well, that's kind of what I was alluding to in our open when I said that they're playing for more than just the bronze medal and for pride.
Assistant coach for BVI telling his players, you know, you got to play with some kind of sense of urgency.
Penn to Kilden Samuel, and Samuel lays it in. 5-2 in favor of BVI. Richardson around the screen by Sargent over to McCoy. Thought about the 3. Now Scott launches one, and that's good. We're tied at 5. Now a 3 on the way from Samuel, and he answers. I beg your pardon, that was Chiverton. (8-5) now in favor of BVI. McCoy out to Scott, now into Sargent. Back out to Richardson. His 3 won't go. Rebound tipped off the glass by Luby, but BVI comes away with it. Now Samuel spinning. Good defense there by Antigua. Scott didn't bite on the fake. Went up and forced the pass, and it got tipped out of bounds. Now Randy George replacing Norval Carey. Carey still wearing that brace on his left knee. He went down early in this tournament, missed a game, and then came back for the semi as Chiverton hits another 3.
And he can do that as he's a great 3-point shooter. Hasn't been shooting good the last 2 games.
He attacks, goes off the glass. And Franklin Penn with the follow. Richardson trying to get around Samuel, kicks it into the corner, 3 on the way. That rattles out. Rebound, big Cleon. Chiverton for 3 again. Yes! Three rattles out. Rebound tip to Chiverton. An 11-0 run for BVI. It was tied up at 5 at the 5:24 mark. Chiverton fakes the 3, behind the back pass to Penn. Little too fancy there. Penn couldn't handle it. Now McCoy on the attack. Can't get the layup to go. The putback, no. Scott's putback is in. Penn giving it to George. He turns and shoots. Rebound Burton. Now up ahead to Scott. He feeds Burton. Burton short on the floater. Penn chased the rebound down, and then it got tapped out of bounds by Lennox McCoy. Leslie Smith on now for BVI. Richardson sits down for Antigua. Ackham comes on. Penn sits down for BVI. Now Sargent comes on for Luby for Antigua. Chiverton jets into the front court, pulls up, 3 on the way, short. Clinton Joshua in as well for Antigua. Joshua. Now the pass to Sargent goes between his legs. Boy, these FIBA officials, they engage in no conversation. Coach has a question, they really don't care. And
Well,
now Burton with the follow.
his question was about the possession, as Coach Malone thought the ball went off of Antigua.
I thought it did. I thought it went between the player's legs off of an Antigua player and then rolled out of bounds. Happened 20 feet from us. Had a pretty good look at it. Now Leslie Smith goes up, but it won't go. Now Burton for three. He hits it. Chiverton launching from three again. Rebound Scott.
BVI has gone back into this one-on-one play. They're not moving the ball as they did the first 3-4 minutes of this game. A lot of just dribbling.
Now Bass picks up the dribble. Gets tipped out of bounds by Joshua. 56.2 to play in the quarter. And now Chiverton replaced by Blyden as Chiverton and Joshua kind of squared off on each other. Samuel, the circus shot in the lane off the glass.
Tough shot as he was looking right there. Still, they're not really running any offense. It's a lot of one-on-one play.
Is it something that Antigua is doing defensively to make them do that? As Burton hits another three. Bass pops from the free throw line, no. Fights for his own rebound in the corner, and it goes out of bounds. And that's good. So at the end of one, it is 20-17 in favor of BVI. BVI jumped out to a big lead, but after making an 11-0 run, Antigua kind of reeled them back in, and now they trail by 3. We're back in 2 minutes at the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown.
Type of guy he is.
It's all right, we're all good. I said, it was just that you were right behind our mics. And then when you started to swear.
He used to be the coach of the BVI team.
Oh, yeah? Head coach?
He was assistant.
20-17 as we head to the second quarter. BVI with the 3-point lead. We're tied up at 5 at the 5:24 mark. BVI went on an 11-0 run to take a 16-5 lead.
It's good to see Blyden getting in the game, as he wasn't awarded any minutes yesterday. As I thought they could have used his energy on the floor last night.
Yeah, I think he's still recovering from when he went down the other day. Now Samuel will go to the line for the and one. He connects, and it's 23-17. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the bronze medal game between the host nation, the British Virgin Islands, and Antigua. Both of these teams lost in the semifinals last night. The gold medal game will take place about 8:45 tonight between the winners of last night's semis, Bahamas and the Virgin Islands, and that is going to be one heck of a game. The 9th place game yesterday, it was the Cayman Islands over Guyana. Burton tips it in. The 7th place game earlier today was Barbados over Bermuda. Bermuda made a huge comeback in that one before Barbados was able to close out 78-73. Now George has his shot blocked. In the 5th place game, as Burton goes up, jams it home, and draws the foul.
Antigua getting a lot of transition points right now, as BVI not doing a good job getting back on defense.
Foul's going to be on Leslie Smith. That is going to give Antigua a chance to get to within one. Free throw falls in, and it's 23-22. In that 5th place game, Suriname trailed by 18 points heading into the 4th quarter. They outscored St. Vincent and the Grenadines 40-15 in the 4th quarter to come away with a 7-point win. Bass had the rebound, but it was poked away, and now Sargent finishes. And Antigua back to within one. Bass feeding Smith. Beg your pardon, that's George. He goes high off the glass. No good, and the rebound tapped out of bounds. It'll be Antigua ball. Kurt Luby back in now.
Since coming out the game, I haven't seen Cleon Penn, and as I call his name, he comes running by the table.
Well, it's funny. As soon as Luby got up, you looked immediately down at the BVI bench to see what they were going to do, and what they did was put in Cleon Penn. Joshua. Long three on the way is good. Ernest Scott. They gave the basket to the wrong team. They gave the basket to BVI. It should be 27-25 Antigua. Now they have it right. Now Joshua for three, no. Seen a lot of mishaps on the scoreboard here the last couple of 3 days as well. Samuel flips up the shot in the lane, has it blocked. Now Blyden, he attacks, gives it to Penn. Penn off the glass, won't go, but he draws the foul. Foul's going to be on Joshua. 6:39 to play, second quarter. Antigua leading by 2. A 10-2 run for Antigua to open the second quarter. Beg your pardon, 10-5 run. It's been 10-2 since the 9:46 mark. Free throw is no good. And now Burton with the acrobatic move underneath. 29-25.
Burton have gave them a big lift off the bench as he now has 15 points.
Burton again. Burton filling up the score sheet in the second quarter. Now high off the glass, no. Penn goes up for the rebound. To put it back, shot gets blocked and he gets fouled. The way you reacted, partner, I'm not sure you agreed with that.
I thought he met him up top. I thought it was a good block. But that's why I'm sitting down on the side and I'm not out there refereeing.
31-25 Antigua. Free throw by Penn is no good. Penn misses them both. Rebound Luby.
Facebook is a little quiet today. Hit us up. Tell us what you think, what your thoughts are. Who you think is going to win the bronze medal or even the gold medal? And that's not a good sign.
Yeah, Penn came down and he's holding that right ankle.
Cleon Penn went up and came down on the foot of one of the offensive players, and he immediately grabbed for that ankle.
I actually saw him working that ankle earlier. He untied and retied the shoe a couple times.
And he's in a lot of pain.
With 5:42 in the second. Penn on the floor with a presumed right ankle injury. And if he needs help off the floor, they're gonna have to call a tow truck or something. That is one big mass of humanity they're gonna have to move.
And you got to feel for the big fella because he had a lot of reservations whether he wanted to play in this tournament. If you don't know the history, he was flown back and forth through Puerto Rico to the British Virgin Islands because he's actually playing in the professional league over there. I can guarantee you his agent is on the edge of his seat right now. You know, you find a lot of teams that's hesitant to release players and let them play in these type of tournaments. You know, when you have teams that are playing players big money, you know, to play in basically what is for pride, you know, is where do you draw the line?
Yeah, if it's the off season, it's one thing. If they get hurt, they have time to rehabilitate. But if you're in season,
not sure what of those, but it immediately when I saw them, it reminded me of the air floats they use to lift a boat out of the water,
yeah,
which they might need to get him off of this floor.
They might just be putting some air splints on it as a precaution.
and I can guarantee you he's done for the rest of this game. He's not going to take a chance and play for the rest of the game. He has too much at stake.
Well, not that you wish him not to come back, but the way that BVI's offense has functioned the last couple of days, as you continually said yesterday, the guards were making bad entry passes to Penn. Now without Penn as an option, maybe some of those bad passes don't get made. They don't make some of those turnovers, and they find a different way to get the offense moving.
Well, even today, they went to him the first 2 possessions of the game, and since then, they haven't really looked for him on the offensive end. This team is more guard-oriented team, a lot of outside players. So, as you said, maybe they might function better with him not in the middle.
And I remember the first play of the game, they ran the high-low, threw the ball in over the top, and it still wasn't a great entry pass. He happened to catch it, bobbled it after the catch, but they still had to lob it in over Luby. And that was not an easy thing to do, and that's not something you can live and die doing with, because Luby's going to get up there and knock a bunch of those down.
What they do lose is that great wall of China down in that defensive post, as he already had 5 rebounds.
As he said, a gentle giant. Very nice young man. Felt awful after the collision with Lewis last night.
Yeah, he immediately went over to Lewis on the floor to make sure that he was okay.
And in fact, he was so shaken up, the coaches had to pull him from the game so he could kind of regain his composure.
Like I said, you don't really see that type of play in FIBA basketball. And I will admit, I was the type of player that if I knocked you down on the ground, there's no way I was helping you up.
Cleon Penn's back is to us, so we can't quite see what they're doing to that right ankle. Presume it's they're air splinting it just as a precaution. And maybe that's his agent coming out onto the floor.
That's actually the president of the BVI Federation.
Once again, this is the bronze medal game between BVI and Antigua. BVI led after one quarter, 20-17. It's a 31-25 lead now for Antigua. Penn went down with 5:42 to play in the second, and now he's being helped up by his teammates. Yeah, they've got that right ankle.
And I've got to tell you,
splinted.
First time I've seen that type of splint is usually you don't want to take that shoe off.
Right. But I think because they were going to splint it and wrap it so quickly, that might have been why they took that off, because they had that available. Sure, he'll be headed to the hospital for x-rays. Our 7th place game earlier today, it was Barbados over Bermuda, 78-73. The 5th place game, another exciting one, 87-80. Suriname with an unbelievable comeback over St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And our gold medal game coming up at 8:45 between the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands. We're back underway here, and let's see how BVI responds.
And look for Antigua to immediately go down into the post on their next offensive set.
Now BVI with the turnover. Now BVI with the steal. Chiverton working on Joshua. Thought about the step back. Now Leslie Smith attacks, misses, and Luby the rebound. Coming up on 5 minutes. Richardson's pass is tipped out to Joshua and then stolen. Chiverton jets up the right wing. Got it back to Penn. The pass was a little low, so he had to regather. Now Chiverton for three. Came up way short on that. Chiverton patting his right forearm, saying, I got hit on that. That's why that came up so short. Now the pass inside to Norval Carey. Luby closes. He couldn't do anything. And then Franklin Penn finds an opening and goes up and lays it in. McCoy on the attack, gets it stripped away and then pulled out of the air by Norval Carey. Now Penn flips it up backwards off the glass over Richardson. What a shot by Penn.
Don't know how in the world he was able to make that. His body was towards the basket, kind of flipped it up over his shoulder. Great move.
That was, dare I say, Jordan-esque. So back to 31-29 now. Now the foul called. Leslie Smith. That's his second. And the big men for BVI really have to be careful because their bench just got shorter with the loss of Cleon Penn. Now Joshua flips one up.
And we have another
Circus
player
style,
down.
And now Paralon goes down holding his right knee, but he pops up, trying to walk it off. Kennedy Bass comes in to replace Paralon. Chiverton guarded by Richardson. They feed Bass in the post right side. He's working on Joshua. Now Leslie Smith back over to Bass. He attacks with the left hand. Shot won't go. Rebound Antigua. Scott the quick release. Three and he hits it.
Scott is feeling it now as he's in a great rhythm. That was about his third three of this game.
Franklin Penn on the drive. He draws the foul. Foul is on Kenya Ackham, his second. Penn misses the free throw. Gemma Hazelwood on Facebook says, come on Antigua, let's walk away with this medal. Burton trapped into the corner, getting it to Sargent. Now a foul before the shot. I didn't see if they held up 8 or 9. open 9. It was on J.R. Chiverton. That's his first. If you'd like to join the conversation, we're on Facebook at Caribbean Basketball Confederation and on Twitter at Carib Basket, CARIBE BASKET. Now a 3 on the way from Richardson. No. Sargent the rebound. Coming up on 2 minutes. Shot clock down to 5. Richardson near midcourt. He's got to do something. Gets it into Luby. I thought the one official called for a foul. Our officials tonight: Robinson Aracena from the Dominican Republic, Kendall Henry from the Virgin Islands, and Gregory Hamilton from the Cayman Islands. Ackham up over Penn. That won't go. And then Ackham and Carey get tied up. And it'll be BVI ball.
Gemma Hazelwood finally hitting us up on Facebook. Said, come on, Antigua, let's walk away with this one. Whereas Wadadley checking in.
Shot's no good, and now Antigua back on the attack. McCoy left wing. Up top to Burton. Burton finds a lane, goes up, and jams it home with 2 hands. I think somebody missed a defensive assignment
and
there.
That was like Moses parting the Red Sea.
Exactly
It just
what
cleared
it was like.
open for him. Burton having the game of this tournament for him, as he now have 19 points in his first half. Beautiful turnaround jump shot by Leslie Smith.
No call on Carey, who comes back in. Ackham tries to leave it for Sargent. It'll be BVI ball. Boy, Carey just about clotheslined the ball handler. No call. I mean, it's one thing if you bump him or tap him, maybe you don't get the call. But when you actually change his direction and slow his progress, that's got to get called. Now with 12 seconds left, Chiverton gives it to Carey. He muscles his way up. And from half court, no. So the second quarter will end 38-34 in favor of Antigua. Once again, this is the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships bronze medal game between Antigua and the BVI. Our gold medal game is coming up at 8:45. The 9th place game was played yesterday. It was the Cayman Islands over Guyana. Earlier on today, Barbados beat Bermuda in the 7th place game, and the 5th place game concluded a little while ago. That was a thriller between Suriname and SVG. Suriname came back from down 18 points heading into the 4th quarter to beat St. Vincent of the Grenadines 87-80. Well, it's only a 4-point deficit now for BVI partner. Cleon Penn not in there, and it seems like it's loosened up the BVI offense a little bit.
Well, they still going to have to get more ball movement. There's a lot of dribbling going on, a lot of one-on-one play. Hopefully during his halftime, coach can talk to his players to get into their offensive sets where they can try to get easier shots.
Once again, the halftime score 38 for Antigua and Barbuda, 34 for the British Virgin Islands. Gold, or rather bronze medal at stake, and a qualification spot in Centro Basket. We're back in about 13 minutes for the second half. We hope you'll join us. Welcome back to the Multi-Purpose Sports Complex in Road Town on the lovely island of Tortola. Last day of the 2015 Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championships. We are in the medal round. This is the bronze medal game between the British Virgin Islands and Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua currently leading 38-34 as we come out of halftime. Coming up at approximately 8:45, it's going to be the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands for gold. We encourage you to stick around and watch that one with us if you can't make it here to Road Town. Three from the corner is no good. Ball comes down behind the backboard and Sargent tracks it down. Chiverton with the quick hands knocks it out of bounds.
And I was told that they took the big fella to the hospital to get some x-rays just to make sure it's no fracture, no breaking bones. Let's just hope it was a sprained ankle.
Yeah, I imagine once they get it wrapped and splinted like that, they went straight there. Kilvin Samuel, Kennedy Bass, Chiverton Smith, and Norval Carey on the floor as Samuel starts the second half instead of Franklin Penn. Five to shoot. Smith to Samuel. Puts up the long three-pointer from straight on and hits it.
Sure, that's not quite what Coach Malone drew up, but he'll take it anyway.
And now a steal of the pass by Bass. He goes up and stuffs it home with two hands. And BVI with a 1-point lead. And Richardson dribbles it off his foot, but it goes to McCoy. McCoy gets it inside to Sargent. All kind of bodies on the floor and a tie-up called. And it's going to be BVI ball. Started off this quarter on a 4-0 run. Overall when you go back to the second quarter, as BVI scored the last 4 points of that second quarter. Now a three ball on the way by Chiverton. Beg your pardon, that was Samuel, no good. Now McCoy for three. That's off. Scott the rebound. Richardson. And Antigua resets. 10 to shoot. McCoy into the paint. Kicks it out to Burton. Beg your pardon, that was Scott. And Richardson can't get the shot off before the shot clock expires. Long scoring drought for Antigua, as you saw the graphic. I have it in my notes that they haven't scored since the 107 mark of the second quarter.
BVI on that possession was able to strip the ball, but everybody just stood around watching as Sargent picked it up and laid it in for the twos.
McCoy and one will go to the line. So now Antigua back with the lead and a chance to extend. 42-39 now. Free throw won't go, so it remains 42-39. Now the ball kicked around, literally.
And if you're Lennox McCoy, you got to shoot that ball. You're already too deep down underneath the basket. Can't look to make that pass with that much traffic.
Luby handing it back to McCoy. He tries to kick it out to Sargent, and an offensive foul on McCoy as he charges into the lane and tries to dish it off.
And I'm thinking ahead a little bit here, partner. You've got to think the next game, the Virgin Islands probably is going to get some rally around these home crowd BVI fans.
Could be. Bahamas, one of the bigger nations in this tournament. Everybody likes to knock off the big dog, just like when Bahamas knocked off Jamaica in the women's tournament. And the soaring block by Luby, but there for the putback is Carey, and it won't go. And Luby corrals the rebound, and George gets called for the foul.
And I think Carey's a little hampered from that knee. As if he was 100%, I would have expected him to go up and dunk that ball back in.
Scott with the quick release for three again, and he hits.
Scott has a beautiful shot from out beyond that arc. He has a quick release.
Chiverton had it poked out of there, and it's a 4-on-1. Somehow Antigua blows a 4-on-1 break, and Kilvin Samuel comes away with the ball, and he gets a foul called on Scott against Antigua.
As a coach, that drives you crazy. 4-and-1, and you don't come up with a basket.
That's clown college stuff right there. And then you commit the foul.
And while Antigua was on a drought, British Virgin Islands haven't scored since the 9-minute mark.
Now a three by Chiverton, that breaks that streak. (45-42), a three-point Antigua lead. McCoy driving, kicks it out, and a foul on Carey. That basket should not count. Carey's foul occurred on the floor. There's no question about that. McCoy arguing that should get the continuation, but absolutely that foul occurred.
Well, they're giving him two shots, but what Antigua players are complaining is that the ball was blocked on the way down instead of on the way up.
Boy, that should not be a shooting foul, in my opinion. The hack occurred on the drive before he even thought about shooting the ball. I mean, he took another dribble and two more steps before he released that ball. First free throw is good, 46-42. pass underneath from George to Carey. He gets both defenders in the air, and they both come down and land on him. And that foul's going to get called on Scott. Beg your pardon, they're going to give it to Burton. I thought I saw them hold up the fist in the 4. Evidently it was a 5 and a 4. I do have a appointment at the eye doctor for July 8th. Maybe get my bifocals checked.
I always hold my breath when I see plays like that when the defender pump fakes, because as a defender, you have no way to control your body once it's in the air.
Yeah, because after the pump fake, the shooter usually is in a crouched position waiting to explode upward. So if you come down on him, you're going to just kind of roll off of him in a very awkward cartwheeling position. Now the officials confer to see who has the ball, and they change the signal to BVI. That's good officiating there. Penn to Chiverton, a long 3 on the way, no. Chiverton again saying his arm was hit, but
I think if he's in the gym by himself shooting, he's going to and he misses a shot, he's going to ask for the ref to call something on.
Now Carey with the block. And a kick by Scott. It'll remain BVI ball. Chiverton fading away from the free throw line. Misses that one badly. Now Clinton Joshua with the pretty drive, and he gets the roll. Antigua again on the break. Scott goes up, tried to dunk it up over Franklin Penn. Missed the dunk, and Scott goes down to the floor hard, no call. I don't think there was a lot of contact there between Penn and Scott. And now BVI wants timeout. And Scott talking with the official.
And I've got to be honest with you, I didn't think there was a lot of contact either.
Yeah. It just looked like he hit the rim with the ball, and that's what caused him to careen out of bounds awkwardly. At any rate, 48-43 Antigua. We're back from Roadtown in 30 seconds. To play third quarter. Byron Bell, a former player from Antigua, watching all the way from Kenya via the FIBA YouTube page since day 1 of the tournament. He says, "Go Antigua." It's almost 3 a.m. in Kenya. Well, Byron Bell, you are a stallion for staying up and watching. We're glad you can be with us, and good luck to your Antigua team. Three from the corner won't go. His Antigua team is up 48-43. Penn's three-pointer blocked. Now the beautiful pass ahead to Scott, and he goes to the free throw line.
And somehow I knew that the referee was going to call that foul since he didn't give Scott the other call.
Well, and I think that was a legitimate foul that time. Comment on Facebook a moment ago saying there doesn't have to be a lot of contact to be a foul. Well, no, but if they called it every time there was even not a lot of contact, we'd be here for 3 and 4 hour games. That time, it was a clear foul. The time before, in the opinion of Cal and myself, there wasn't enough for it to be a foul. Scott on the left wing around Ackham. Now Joshua back to Scott, zips it inside. Nice ball movement by Antigua. And Ackham goes up and comes down hard. Ackham will go to the free throw line. The foul for BVI on Randy George.
And I'm surprised Antigua hasn't pounded the ball inside. Without the presence of Cleon playing, they clearly have the size advantage. I would have thought that they would have tried to get it down in the post almost every possession.
Ackham hits on the free throw. Well, maybe it's a situation where they're going to lull BVI into a sense of thinking they're not going to pound it, and then all of a sudden, when the time comes, they start to pound it. Ackham's shot won't go. Reminds me of the movie Rocky II, where he learns to fight right-handed and then was going to switch late in the fight to left-handed. Maybe Antigua is waiting to switch to pound it down low until it gets to be a more critical time. On the floor, so we'll take it as well. 52-45 in favor of Antigua. We're back in a moment. .202 to play, third quarter. 52-45 in favor of Antigua. Three on the way, no. Coming up on a minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. And now missing on the dunk is Luby.
And the Antigua player was just blocked out from getting the ball by the official, which is completely legal. He's part of the game.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's legal. Gemma Hazelwood on Facebook says, I hope you guys are correct and we're just waiting to fire that punch, meaning starting to pound it inside. She said maybe I should send a WhatsApp to Coach George and give him your suggestion. We can just kind of hand him a note maybe.
Yeah, I'm surprised. As I said, they got Luby and Sargent, who's clearly towering over the BVI players, and they're not really focus of our offense right now.
Now Bass on the attack, kicks it out. Now Smith gets fouled on his way to the basket. That's on Scott. Minute 10 to play third quarter. And major apologies to Mr. Hazelwood. Says, by the way, I'm a he, not a she. It happens all the time. If you'd like to join the conversation on Facebook, you can find us at Caribbean Basketball Confederation. We are also on Twitter at CaribBasket, CaribBasket. Free throw is no good. Rebound Chiverton. He gets it back. And the three is no good. Chiverton. Nice feed from Chiverton to Samuel. 52-48, back to a 4-point lead. And now Burton can't hit from in close, but a whistle. That's going to be on Randy George. 35.4 to play in the third quarter. 1,000 people in this building, partner, and I've got a fly bothering me. So Randy George to the free throw line. George shooting 76.9 for the tournament. Hits the first.
And Lanisha Samuel Luby checked in on Facebook, and she said maybe you should send the coach a note because there's no reason why they're not up 20 right now with Penn not in the game. And I would have to agree with her. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Lanisha Luby is the cousin of Luby for Antigua.
Now McCoy around the Sargent screen. Has his shot blocked. Here comes BVI. Chiverton, the pass a little too long. And a loud thump as Chiverton exits the court area at a high rate of speed and then pounds something back there in frustration. BVI with a golden opportunity to tie it back up. Now 7 seconds left in the quarter. Joshua, the seas part for him. He goes to the rack. And the third quarter will end with Antigua up 54-50. Don't go away if it's anything like the other games we've had today. This one is going to be exciting in the fourth quarter. This is for the bronze medal and qualification into Central Basket. We're back with fourth quarter action in 2 minutes. Fourth quarter underway here at the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. 54-50 in favor of Antigua. This game's for the bronze medal and qualification into Central Basket. Top 3 teams qualify. And the quick layup makes it 56-50. And now McCoy with the long outlet pass. He goes up and lays it in. And it's 58-50. And now a technical foul issued. I guess it was
Didn't
just
catch that one. Wasn't that delay game warning?
Could be. I was writing a note on the basket. Must have been a delay warning. Now the 3 by Samuel won't go, and Richardson pushes it up. Trying to get it to Sargent on the lob. A little too far for him. Now the shot blocked inside by George and a foul called. The foul on Kennedy Bass. George had the clean block, but it was Bass with the shove.
And Richardson very, very quiet tonight. As the first 3 games, he was their leading scorer, having scored a bucket for the night.
Misses the first free throw.
And I want to apologize to Lanisha Luby, as she is the wife of Luby, not the cousin. That would make sense why she would want the ball to be pounded inside to the big fellas.
Wow, and what a play by Kennedy Bass.
That was a great heads-up play by Kennedy Bass as he was going out of bounds and just threw the ball off of Sargent, retained possession of the ball. Smart play.
Boy, the hand-eye coordination to make that happen is just phenomenal. And now Bass finds Smith on the inbound, and Smith is fouled. And that's going to be on Clinton Joshua. Shaquille Humphrey says Franklin Penn needs to be in the game. And I don't disagree with that. He's been very good for BVI lately.
And how many times this tournament have that happened when we've called a player name and looked down the bench and here he comes.
Franklin Penn and Norval Carey getting set to check back in for BVI.
Franklin Penn, probably the best player of creating his own shot on that BVI team. They definitely need him in the game.
Penn just 21 years old. Now the kick out to Bass, 4 to shoot. He's trying to get rid of Scott. Now the free throw line jumper by Kilvin Samuel is good. McCoy on the drive. He dishes it out. Joshua gives it up to Richardson underneath. 5 to shoot. Sargent down low. He makes a strong move to the bucket and lays it in.
Great move. And as I said, they're just too big and strong down in the post.
That foul is on Sargent. George will go to the free throw line with BVI trailing by 8. Free throw by George is good. And now Chiverton and Joshua jostling each other at midcourt. Chiverton with the kind of the forearm to Joshua as he walks away. And the official sees it and comes over and says, knock it off, guys. Both free throws by George are good. And it's 60-54. Now some pressure by BVI. Bass hounding McCoy. Sargent. Joshua on the drive, kicks it out. Quick shot by Scott, and he hits it again.
Great Scott, as he has been consistent from beyond the arc all night.
Bass thought about the turnaround, but McCoy's defense was too good. 3 on the way, no. Carry the rebound, flips it to Bass, and he goes off the glass. Now Scott, he gets fouled on the way up.
And he gets called for unsportsmanlike foul. Gotta say, I didn't agree with that. I thought it was just a common foul.
I thought that was a good hard foul preventing a layup. The player didn't go to the floor. There wasn't a blow to the head. Boy, that's a tough call. Wow. That was on Norval Carey. Scott hits the second free throw, and Antigua will retain possession of the ball. Now Ackham off the glass. Awkward shot there. He was in a bad position to shoot that. BVI with the rebound. Chiverton, guarded by Joshua, tries to get inside to Leslie Smith. Ball gets poked out. 10 to shoot. BVI resetting. Now around the screen by Carey. Jumper, no. Rebound back tapped. And Ackham again flips it up in a 1-on-2 situation. And BVI comes away with it. Now Chiverton gives it to Smith, and he bounces off a couple of Antigua defenders. Foul going to be on Lennox McCoy. If he didn't get called, Sargent would have. 5.5 minutes to play fourth quarter. BVI hanging around 64-56. Quick inbound pass to Chiverton, and he strikes. McCoy guarded by Samuel. Scott for the open three, finally missed one. 4:56 to play. Samuel with the three, no. Joshua lets the rebound go out of bounds in the corner, and it'll be Antigua ball. Ackham on the right wing to McCoy. 10 to shoot around the screen by Scott. Nice attack by McCoy.
Lennox McCoy, the veteran player, was looking like his younger days as he cut around the corner with some speed.
Three on the way from out front. Yes! Kilvin Samuel. Beg your pardon, that was Chiverton.
Both teams have woken up in these last couple of minutes as now they realize what they're playing for. Now they realize what's at stake.
Scott's hook shot finds its way in. Well, I think whether it's a gold medal, a bronze medal, a trip to the Olympics, or Central Basket. Now another three by Chiverton. Once it gets late and it gets competitive, the nature of a competitor will take over.
You've got to get a hand out on that, guys. He loved to shoot the three. That time came around the screen. Defender didn't have his hand up. Hand down, man down.
68-64, timeout Antigua. We're back in a minute from Roadtown.
And now BVI putting a little pressure.
.310 to play. BVI down 4. Chiverton loses his footing as he cut for the pass, and now players all over the place on the floor. Scott comes away with it, misses the dunk, but draws the foul. That'll be on Franklin Penn. That was a good foul to take. Chiverton pleading his case.
Chiverton is pleading his case that he was tripped up coming up the screen. Unfortunately, it was his own man that tripped him up.
I thought he slipped on some moisture on the floor. I couldn't tell, but it didn't look to me like anybody from Antigua was involved.
He was clipped by his own player, Leslie Reimer. Sorry, Leslie Smith.
So Scott to the free throw line.
Chiverton saying that he was tripping. He's absolutely right. But he tripped off the foot of Leslie Smith. And I don't think he realized that that's who foot he clipped.
Scott hits the first free throw, 69-64. Hits them both. And now Keith Malone wants timeout. 70-64. We're back in a minute from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown. To play in this one, as we suspected, it's been close throughout. It may come down to a last-second shot. Shaquille Humphrey posts on Facebook, Franklin Penn is my brother, and he's actually only 17 years old.
Yeah,
he's listed on the official roster as 21.
They got his age as 21 in the paper, but I knew that was wrong because the young fellow just graduated from high school. It was either just graduated or still in high school.
Well, what he's done in this tournament, even more impressive given the fact that he's 17 rather than 21. Now, a foul on the floor, the shot will not count. 2:38 to play. Norval Carey in the paint, surrounded by three players, and the ball ripped out of there by Jerome Richardson, but a jump ball called. Into Chiverton. Double team, gets it back to Carey. He can't handle the pass. Now attacking a Smith, it won't go.
Great defense from Antigua as the ball never hit the rim. Leslie Smith went up with the shot, but it just hit the backboard. Great call.
McCoy nursing a 6-point lead. Going around Franklin Penn. What a move by McCoy.
And there he is, the veteran player, showing he still have a little bit left in the tank.
Penn on the attack now. Carey stripped on the way up and a foul called. That is going to be on Raviel Burton. With 1:50 to play.
Lennox McCoy talking to Franklin Penn, telling him, I locked you down. I'm an old vet. I locked you down.
Free throw by Carey is no good. Now the ball out of bounds to BVI. Minute 43.
And with this late in the game, Antigua's got to switch all screens. Watch for J.R. Chevington coming off a screen for a three-point shot.
Now a three from Samuel, and that's good.
That's a great step-back move by Samuel.
5-point lead for Antigua, 72-67. And now a steal by Carey. 3-on-2. Now Cheverton for three, that's no good. This place would have gone slightly bananas. Now a feed to McCoy. A beautiful pass to McCoy. Now Carey bumped. Do they give him the continuation? No, they're going to say it was on the floor. And again, Cheverton talking with an official.
The weirdest thing about that last possession is British Virgin Islands was trying to foul. Referee did not blow the whistle. They ended up getting the turnover.
Both free throws good by Carey. 74-70. Beg your pardon, 74-69.
With a minute left, I'm not so sure, and you're only down 4 points. Actually make that 5. I'm not sure I would have started fouling. I would have tried to get a stop this possession, get a score, and then think about fouling.
And Cheverton commits the foul. 57.3 to play. Free throw is short.
And Antigua only shooting 41% from the free throw line. They're going to have to knock down some of these if they want to hold on to this lead.
Both free throws missed. Norval Carey with the rebound. Ahead to Samuel. Now they zip the pass inside to Carey. They miss the cutting Smith. Bounces off of him, and now it's Antigua on the break. Give it to Sargent, and he goes up and stuffs it with two hands.
BVI missing a great opportunity on that last possession, and they couldn't afford to turn the ball over.
And now it's a 7-point lead. Timeout BVI. We're back in 1 minute. .2 to play. BVI trailing now by 7. Long three on the way by Bass, misses. Long outlet to McCoy, and that should do it. 78-69.
And that might have been the nail on the coffin.
Now Cheverton tried to get it to Bass, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Antigua ball. Shot clock is off, 20.3 to play.
And Antigua players and fans starting to celebrate already as they feel this victory, as they're going to get this bronze medal as they move on in next year's Central Basket Tournament.
Antigua was not going to shoot, but BVI commits the foul. That's on Kilvin Samuel. Scott to the free throw line. Makes it a 10-point game at 79-69.
And we kind of called it from the first 2 days who we thought the top 4 teams was going to be in this tournament. And those same 4 teams came down to play in the medal rounds.
No. Chiverton goes down. .4 to play, an 11-point lead for Antigua.
Don't forget, if you're watching this, don't go nowhere, because coming up next, it's the gold medal game. It's going to be a good one. 2 heavyweight fighters. Virgin Islands versus the Bahamas.
Gemma Hazelwood on Facebook said they should be drawing up plays for Scott because he's their best free throw shooter, because BVI was fouling. And they were sort of doing that. And J.R. Chiverton just not wanting this one to end. Burton's free throw is in. Chiverton at age 33 may not want this to end, because maybe this is his final game.
He got probably 2 more years of playing FIBA basketball.
Chiverton's 3 won't go. Samuel the putback, and he scores.
And our 2015 bronze medal winners, the Wadadli Soldiers, guys from Antigua and Barbuda.
82-73 your final. So the bronze during the medal ceremony following the gold medal game will be awarded to Antigua. BVI will finish 4th. Good tournament for them. The 5th place game, again earlier today, Suriname came back from 18 down to beat St. Vincent and Grenadine 87-80. And in the 7th place game, Barbados beat Bermuda 78-73. Coming up at about 8:45, it's going to be the Bahamas and the Virgin Islands for gold. We invite you to come back and watch that one with us. If you're anywhere near Roadtown, we'd like you to come out and watch this one in person. It is going to be a good game. For my partner, Cal White, I'm Craig Fada saying so long for now, and we'll see you in a little over half an hour. They actually just put 35 minutes up on the clock. So instead of starting at 8:45, they're going to start it closer to 9. So we'll see you at about 9 o'clock from the Multipurpose Sports Complex in Roadtown.